my imagination, which Patty was talking directly to me in her offering as our practitioner today, and my imagination can take me anywhere. And I'm listening to that beautiful piece of music, and I could hear strings in the background, and just all this lovely harmony. Oh my God, it was really, really lovely.
Mm-hmm.
Good morning, every day.
Good morning, Reverend Ann.
I am so happy to see you all, and I missed you last Sunday. I'm so grateful to Deborah for taking such good care of everyone, and I enjoyed your talk very much, and I'm glad to be back.
And we're glad you're back.
You know, I don't know how it is, but a week felt like months. And even though I was really enjoying what I was doing, I wasn't here. And I knew I wasn't here. So I'm very happy to be back. I'm very happy that I had a good time while I was gone. And in case I didn't mention it, I'm very happy to be back. And for those of you who may have forgotten in a week, I'm Reverend Ann Ray, and I have the extreme privilege of being part of this family, this spiritual community that is my heart's home. Okay, so now I need to tell you a little story about Denise and me. So, over the years, you've heard about a lot of things that we're interested in and that we follow and that we do. But I don't think I've ever mentioned that we are big fans of the spelling bee. And one year we missed it because it wasn't at its usual time of year, and we were very upset. Anyway, we just finished watching it because Denise had been kind enough to not watch it while I was gone, and so we could watch it together. And then Reverend Scott Aubrey, who posts once a week, if you don't know his work, it's really intended for people in ministry to give them inspiration, special quotes, but really anyone would enjoy it. His website is spiritualpassages.org. And I just happened to open his latest post. And he said, in New Thought, the word is more than language. It is creative expression, thought moving toward form, consciousness given direction. Charles Fillmore wrote, when one understands the power of words spoken in spiritual consciousness, the results are in fulfillment of divine law. That gives the spelling bee story a deeper meaning. These young students, and their ages 12, right? 12 to
14, I think.
14,
15.
or 12 to 16.
10 to anyway.
Maybe. Anyway, these young students are not only spelling words, they are honoring the hidden within words. Their roots, origins, patterns, and meanings. Our word, is a vessel of consciousness. Ernest Holmes wrote, "Throw your word into mind and know that mind receives it, believes it, accepts it, acts upon it, and produces it." Let's hear that again. Throw your word into mind and know that mind receives it, believes it, accepts it, acts upon it, and produces it. Peggy, there's your quote for next week. In Holmes' teaching, word is a spiritual seed planted in the receptive field of mind, carrying the pattern of the consciousness behind it. I'm going to read just the short rest of this, and then I'm going to come back to that statement. The spelling bee, then, is a great parable about spiritual mastery. These students are showing us that true intelligence is attention. It is communion with meaning. And in New Thought, meaning matters because the word we hold in consciousness becomes the world we help create. The word we hold in consciousness is and so it is, somebody's phone just fell on the floor, is the world we help create. So as we consider what it means to turn the page, what I'm really talking about is releasing everything that preceded that turn and starting a new chapter or a new adventure. And the reason that I emphasized Ernest Holmes' statements about word into mind is that implies you let spirit have it. You don't go, I want a new job. I really want a new job. And I'm willing to do what's going to do, whatever that is, to get a new job. Now you'll notice I didn't let go. I didn't allow Spirit, God, the One, Life, to do its part. And its part, I have, it's too bad Bob isn't here today, but I know he's in Florida. Its part is, I think, about 85%. Our part is about 15%. It isn't the other way around. It isn't that where we have to do all this work and then maybe Spirit, God, Life will help. No. If we release our word, we speak our word and we release our word, it's about 85-15. And the significance of that is that things that we call miracles happen. Ways and means, answers and solutions, resolutions show up. And we're getting a new dishwasher this week. So the release in closing the chapter, because when you're reading, I know that some of you are avid readers. When you're reading, books are usually in chapters, right? And there will be an end to the chapter, and then there will be the next chapter, and the following chapter continues sometimes some of the aspects of the chapter that preceded it, but it's not a carbon copy, right?
Right.
It's a brand new chapter. And so you discover new things about all of the characters that are in the book, or maybe a new character is introduced, or you end up in a brand new place. And we could learn a lot from how books are written. Because even though there are threads of the previous chapters, usually, or often, I'll say, that continue somehow in the chapters that follow, there's a real difference in the next chapter. But we do, in order to get to that chapter, have to turn the page. No matter how much we enjoyed the previous chapter, we do have to turn the page, and we do have to move on to the next chapter if we're going to read the rest of the book. And what Scott Aubrey found was this beautiful metaphor in the idea and the purpose of the spelling bee, where the word is really given its proper weight. Anyone who has read anything by Ernest Holmes, and he's not Ralph Waldo Emerson, etc., etc., etc. You know that there is a lot of emphasis on the word and how we use it, because our word has power.
Yes.
It has power, it has authority, and we may feel like we have no power or authority. However, so what Scott Aubrey mentioned in his piece is the consciousness behind the word. So that is the thing.
Yes.
Because if the consciousness behind the word is filled with doubt, or fear, or belief in the opposite of what it is we are claiming, what do we think happens to that part of the consciousness when we go through the practice of using our word as the co-creation process that we engage in with the divine? What do we think happens to that doubt or fear or hesitation or whatever it is? What do we think happens? Do we think it's hiding? I mean, we're really talking about communing in, not with. It's not like Denise and I having a conversation. Communing in spirit. Spirit, in other words, communing in spirit. So when we release our word, when we throw our word to life which has endless capacity to fulfill it. But we're holding on to parts. Or we have these beliefs that really counter the affirmation. This is what I'm claiming, but I know that in the past, I love that part of your reading, I know that in the past, which is part of why I don't like that phrase, that this and this and this happened. So, which day is new?
Today.
Who's new in it?
Me.
4 people know that. It would be great, it will be great, when the rest of you let yourselves know that. Because the consciousness that is in the Word belies nothing. It reveals all.
Right.
So even though, I love Ernest Holmes' statement about it being a very important, special spiritual seed. The Word is a very special spiritual seed. Yes. And in a seed, we cannot see what's inside unless we have some kind of unusual implement that can look inside of seeds. I don't even know about such things. But everything is seen and known and felt and understood by the one life that is our life. And so if we think that, if we put it behind our back, that maybe life won't know that we have doubt, or life won't know that we think life went. Do you think life is only here?
No.
If it's not only here, then where is it?
It's everywhere.
It's everywhere. Inside, outside, all around us, no exceptions. Now, I am going to mention, just for our own reassurance, no, I don't mean reassurance. I mean clarification. Throwing our word for mind to act upon does not include using our word for other people. Sorry. It doesn't include using our word for other people. It doesn't include, now that doesn't mean that we can't do our prayer work for other people. Because the practitioners know what they're doing when they do prayer work for other people. And they're clear about what they're doing. That quote from Corinthians is fabulous because it is not what can be seen, which is often the case when we're looking at someone else. It's what lies in the unseen. And the unseen is where our trust must be. Otherwise known as the hard part. Because if there is a hard part, that's it. when we can't see it or feel it or hear it or touch it or somehow relate to it with our human senses, trusting in the unseen is the hard part, right? That's okay. We'll survive it. Trying it is worth it. But there's trying it with something behind our back is not trying it. Turning that page, ending that chapter, starting the new adventure really means letting the previous chapters go. Even though they're still part of the story. And of course they're part of the story. Every single experience we have ever had is part of who we are today. And we've survived it all. I want you to notice. We've lived to talk about it, and we've lived to make new choices. Why else in the world would we be here? If it wasn't to make new choices and to have the opportunity that was always the intention for our life, which is to live our life, our version of life, our unique version of life to the fullest.
Yes.
Right.
So turning that page, ending that chapter, starting a new adventure, changing our story. Changing our story? But I have this and this and this and the other thing still going on. How long have you been talking about it? And probably to the same people. How interested do you think they really are? No matter how much they love you. I'm sorry. But we think our story is so important. And I'm not just talking about you. I have gone through a long period of my life where, man, oh man, I was so attached to my story, and I was immersed in my story. And I'm sure that my friends, who were really friends, who really cared about me, found ways to change the subject. Whenever I would start to launch into part of my, because what I was telling them was that I wasn't willing to make a change.
Right.
And as long as my story perpetuated and was perpetuated by me, because I don't think anybody else was telling it. It hadn't been made into a movie or anything, so yeah. I don't think anybody else was telling it or going to tell it, even though it's fascinating. They were kind enough to hang in with me until I got past it.
Right, that's it.
And I was able to turn the page and start a new chapter and realize that I, this is so funny. I had moved along, but my story hadn't.
Right.
I had evolved. I had grown. But I was so immersed in my story, I didn't recognize that I had grown. I didn't recognize how much I had changed. until I stopped telling my story. And then it was like, whoa, who are you? You're doing pretty good. And you weren't that. And you weren't there. And none of those people are around. How cool is that? So as we're considering the use of our word and how powerful it is, we must develop a clear consciousness behind it. If we are using our spiritual tools and we are not getting results that look anything like what we're saying, look anything like what we mean, we have to explore the consciousness behind them.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's where the bodies are buried.
Yeah.
That's where the secrets are. And by secrets of bodies, I mean hidden beliefs, old attachments, cultural habit, generational mythology. All of that stuff is buried there. Or should be. And it's not helping. It's not helping us feel the freedom that is available to step into and live right now. Not tomorrow. Not that there's anything wrong with tomorrow. But today we're creating tomorrow. So tomorrow's going to look a lot like our other Mondays if we don't do something different today.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is.
And so it is.